All right. You start.
Logan, Hunter Biden gets pardoned. What the hell's going on? We got drones flying over Jersey. We got an executive from United Healthcare gets assassinated. It wasn't broad daylight, but man, it was right in front of a camera. You know, the guy looks like Jake Gyllenhaal. What is happening here? What is going on here, man? I mean, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be brought to you by the letter M, as in Mercury. As in Mercury, frickin' retrograde. All right, we got so much to talk about, buddy. I know, sometimes some weeks it's a light news week, and other times it's just boom, 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 man. So how was your Thanksgiving? Let's start off with that. Everything good?
It was good. Fine.
Yeah, cool.
Simple.
We took a step back. I know this is going to sound sad to some people, but we took a step back. It was all good. And we're going to get into this. We're going to talk a little about Christmas here towards the end of the show. The wife, she's had kind of a rough year, and we were both a little stressed out, so we just kind of took a break and did our own thing. Kids did their own thing, and everybody just kind of just chilled out, and it was all good, though. Anyway, so Hunter Biden gets pardoned. Not a shocker, right?
No. I mean, Biden promised he wasn't going to, but
yeah.
What are promises at this point?
Yeah, I mean, these predictions have been pretty low-hanging fruit. First of all, you and I and everybody called that, Joe Biden would drop out of the election. Just so, he obviously should have dropped out way early. The Democrats could have maybe had a decent candidate other than Harris. But that's all water under the bridge at this point. And then we knew this pardon was coming. And I bring it up for a couple reasons. One is, hey, this guy, to me, again, the level of hypocrisy on the modern day left, the modern day Democrats, I mean, it's just amazing. I know two terms I know you're not real big on, but I like to roll with it. Toxic masculinity. Oh my God. I mean, this guy, not only does he like to, get a bunch of crack and get a bunch of hookers and stuff. I mean, whenever I want to have fun, that's what I do too, Logan. But aside from that, no, I'm just kidding. Don't just say no to both hookers and crack. Anyway, let's get down to it. And white privilege, it's another term that the left, white privilege. Oh, well, if you believe in either one of these concepts, as Nancy Mace, representative from North Carolina, said, is this guy the frickin' epitome of these terms or what? I mean, is it just me?
I think he's just an asshole.
A major league.
Well, he's a privileged rich kid.
Yeah.
I don't think race has anything to do with it. I don't think him being a male has anything to do with it.
No.
He's just a spoiled little rich kid getting away with murder, essentially.
I don't know what's the worst thing about him. We really want to pick on a guy. I know we're all sinners, folks. I know. But I mean, I almost think hearing that he eventually banged his sister-in-law. I mean, after his brother died, that just seems low. That just seems fucking low. I mean, even if she really came on to you, you give her a hug and you just, you back off. I mean, there's just a certain standard. Am I crazy? Am I losing it? I mean, there's a certain standard there. You'd be like, you're my dead brother's wife. No, no. Barrier there, just firewall. Come on, that's probably the worst one. But yeah, he's got a whole bunch of them. He got a stripper pregnant, and then Joe and Jill really didn't recognize the grandchild for a while. Then they did, and oh God, that even Michelle Obama gave him a little flack about that. I mean, oh God. So Hunter's on his way out. So I just want to give him a little shot, on the way out. No pun intended here, but. I mean, this guy, what a piece of crap. And the nonsense that went on our scumbag media for the 2020 election, how they said this was all this bad news about Hunter. This is all Russian disinformation. Russia. But no, it's all true. This guy's a slime ball. I mean, it's one of the many things we could make this. We could do a whole hour show that the media has proven itself to be, wrong, lie, manipulation. I mean, you've said it. You think they're on the way out, right?
Oh,
the legacy media.
Legacy? Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, CNN's laying off tons of fucking people. The whole meme joke about MSNBC getting bought up by Musk or people of the sort. So, yeah, it's...
You gotta love that.
It's just going to get nastier, I think, until the end. I don't think they're going to...
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a big change in direction by any means. So I think they're gone. But really at this point, other than the news end of it, no one watches TV anymore. Who watches any of that junk? Most of that stuff you can stream now on either their own services, but you don't. Terrestrial type TV is pretty much just dead. No one watches that.
It's probably older folks, as you were saying, probably are keeping it cable TV alive.
Well, between that and prescription drug companies.
Yeah, there you go. Pfizer, one of the biggest sponsors of all of them, even Fox. Yeah. Heck yeah. So the question for me with Hunter is, how many more pardons are coming? Ooh, because we've got a lot of people that maybe Trump might want to have a little retribution with, or could be susceptible to, a new DOJ, a new.
Well, so my question is, and I've heard some other people talking about this, but is it technically legal to give you a pardon for something that you haven't been found guilty on yet? Like, I thought a pardon only happened
for convicted
people.
Yeah.
I know there's been a couple of exceptions. I can't recall right now, but I know there's been a couple, but nonetheless, why it doesn't just seem a little bit more odd that you're like Fauci. No, that motherfucker needs to be held in front of like a world tribunal and fucking war crimes against humanity.
Hell yeah.
Should be in prison for the rest of his life, if not just fucking taken out.
That's the big one that I'm watching for.
It makes you wonder, why are you doing this? Like, why it preemptive? That just seems kind of weird.
10 years. It's from 2014 till today, folks, to 2024. 10 years. Like,
so I had heard something.
This is a little admission of guilt, a little bit. Just a little bit. Like, maybe I did something there in the past 10 years.
So what I've heard, and I think it's funny, is that they think that Hunter did it on purpose, and he let, like, the laptop thing, he let that out. Like, that was purposely done because, again, the conspiracy goes, or at least this
it is reckless. I'll give you that.
Is that he's upset about his brother being killed. He thinks had something to do with him going after pedophiles, and that Joe, their father, has molested and is a big pedophile himself. So this was kind of like a little stab back at dad.
Wow.
Type of deal. That's what I've heard.
Wow.
But this could be him trying to throw it all under the bus. And now daddy's got to clean it up for the sake of him. So, okay, now the bigger question is, as far as pardons goes, can and will Joe give himself a pardon?
Yeah. And then his brothers, too, Frank and James, especially James, and then others in the Biden family. Yeah. I mean, this is going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, this is a family, folks, that has several LLCs, okay?
Not several. It's like 20-something.
Yeah.
20-something LLCs.
Yeah.
And the investigations found none of them actually do anything but transfer money back and forth. Like, this is a crime family.
Yeah.
This is all of them.
This is Biden Crime Inc. I mean, people that want to hate Trump, you hate Trump all you want, but you voted for, again, I don't know, cattle calling the pot black. I don't know. It's amazing. It's amazing, folks. And yeah, Anthony Fauci, that's the big one that I'm looking for.
I think they just had that Senate committee about the whole COVID, like the last Senate committee they had, a bunch of, and they're saying, yes, it was a gain of function. Money went towards it. Fauci knew, he lied. So yeah, I think he's fucked. And I hope that if Biden tries to do a pardon, again, considering what do you pardon him on? Like, he's about to be found guilty, so you're going to pardon him on that. Isn't that itself, again, admission of guilt?
Yeah.
So I think that's bullshit, and this guy should be held accountable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And anyone else connected to that 2 years of hell,
right,
I think should be held accountable for this shit.
Yeah, a lot of lives were ruined. Businesses went under, especially small businesses, family-owned restaurants type things. I mean, it's horrible what happened there. Some relatives couldn't go visit relatives, or they had to see through a window or some shit. I mean, just horrible. Horrible stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see. Are we going to have more pardons to come here? Will they be, they be done like really awkward times when nobody's paying attention? Like, I don't know, Christmas, Christmas Eve night or something. When will all these be done? And when is his last day to do them? I don't know. Can he do them up until January 19th? I mean, Trump gets in on January 20th. That's the inauguration, I believe, 2025. So we'll see. And is there a limit how many? A president can do, or can president just do many damn pardons
No.
as he wants.
So there was
I got a feeling if he can do as many as he...
there,
All right,
I
go
think
ahead.
it was Pat. I don't know if it was on Pat's show, but they actually went through a list of presidents and the amount of pardons they did, and it was Trump was like way down, like way the fuck down there.
Wow.
I want to say the top was like Obama.
Ooh.
It was definitely some left wingers in there.
Wow. Wow. And I don't like him when anybody does him, folks. I just want to say this thing with Trump. I don't know if you saw this. Trump, during at the end of his last term, first term, and before he was Charles Kushner, Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's son-in-law. This would have been his daughter Ivanka's father-in-law, Charles Kushner, and now Donald Trump is giving him, I think, an ambassadorship to France. Yeah, I don't like that either. By the way, that kind of it smells a little foul to me as well. The other thing that is really, really bothering me, Logan, is this assassination in New York City of Brian Thompson. He is an executive. I don't know if he's a CEO of United Healthcare or he's an executive of United Healthcare. I mean, this is really, again, the show, a lot of things we're mentioning here is kind of all under the guise of Mercury retrograde, which is an astrology thing. My buddy Logan might, I don't know, he might, laugh at me, or a lot of people out there might mock me. But whenever Mercury retrograde happens, it just always feels like the dial gets turned up a bit. And we'll come back to that. But this was just really odd. It obviously, everyone could see, and everyone sort of agrees, this was a targeted hit on this man, Brian Thompson. He was in his early 50s. Again, a higher up at United Healthcare. He was in New York City for a conference. I don't know if it was an investors conference or what. And this was very concerning. A lot of weird things. There are some photos at angles of the alleged assassin that we're wondering about. Looks like a good-looking guy, white dude. It looks like Jake what's his name? Gwenenthal? Logan? Am I pronouncing the actor's name? I don't know. He's kind of a movie star, and he dated Taylor Swift for a little while there, and he broke her heart, and she made a little, not just a song and a video about it, but it was a little short film about it. Anyway, I don't think Jake was the one who really did it, but this guy, he's a good-looking guy, and he kind of looks like him if it's the actual assassin. But the bullets, there's some they wrote depose, deny, and what else was on there? Defend. Yeah, on all these different shellings. And we were talking off camera, and repeat what you were saying, Logan. You were saying that it feels funny, doesn't it? This whole thing, almost like somebody's putting intentional breadcrumbs. You were saying.
It feels like a story, like we're watching the plot of a movie.
Yeah.
Like if you were watching the news right now, you could have plotted that off as a news thing in a movie, and it would have felt almost the same. Like, oh well, that makes sense because of this, and why isn't anyone seeing it? It's just, I don't know. It's too easy. He was using a fake phone. Why would he need a fake phone? Why would an assassin need a fake phone? Who are you trying to contact? You think you'd find other ways to contact? Partial prints, they found a weapon, they found the show casings, that the guy's gun jammed kind of, and he easily was able just to like it was no big deal. Like, I mean, he was calm as a cucumber during the whole exchange of what he'd done, and that he was supposedly canvassing or, doing his whatever you want to call it, reconnaissance work the day before, but yet wasn't wearing a mask or all this, was able to get pictured. Like, it's just, it seems, for what they're trying to say it just seems too botched. Too many, again, too easy to solve. I mean, they should have this guy by now. They have all the information, but maybe his name? They should know exactly where this guy is.
Yeah, you would think with all our surveillance now, they're talking about, again, I don't like all this Big Brother stuff we have, but if we have it, yeah, the facial recognition, things they've talked about, different places. I don't know, maybe it's not as bad yet in America. I don't know. They talk about being really bad in China. I don't know.
I wonder the motive. I think the motive or what narrative they're going to push, because again, it seems very fake, very simple, very movie-esque. Like it's just been a bad movie plot. And we're just watching. It feels weird.
Yeah, it does.
So I want to know what the motivation is, and I want to hear more of the story of why this guy did this. Because outside of that, why would it actually, what was the real intentions behind it? Like, are they trying to, is this a force of power? This guy slacking off? Was he, was it an actual hit from a competitor? Was it a governmental move? Was it something, was he pushing something? Was he going to change his mind? Is this a business thing? I'm just curious to know what that is. And again, what's this guy have involved? The assassin? Why do you do it? Like his kid die or something? I mean, I almost feel like that might be.
It was a Denzel Washington movie like this, wasn't it? John Q. Public or something like that.
Yeah.
And you just kind of wonder. So I'll just want to throw this out there, folks. Like Logan's saying, and I don't know, and I'm not in law enforcement. Okay, so I'm just going to go like Logan said, just going to go that movie plot kind of thing. Did somebody want to take this guy out, Brian Thompson, and they want to make it look like it's this other narrative, like it's somebody who got screwed over by United Healthcare, like you said.
I think that
lost
might be what they're
a loved one or something, and they want to steer the investigation a certain way. And what if it has nothing to do with that at all? It's something completely different, as you are implying. So anyway, if we get to it, let's hope they get to the bottom of this for Mr. Thompson's sake of his family and his friends and the company and everything. But we'll see, I guess. So interesting. The lack of sympathy online. You notice in social media too,
and that's the other push too. Why? Where did that come from? Why are they what? Because he was a rich white guy. Is that what we're being told or? Why that push? Because that's just not a normal push. I mean that was a little, again. Yeah. These little breadcrumbs, they just don't make sense so easily. That why is one side getting pissed off? Why is it so simple that we're gonna end up finding out he was some kind of right-wing assassin or guy or some shit like that?
Last thing I heard, and who knows, folks, maybe by the time this airs, they'll have the guy, and maybe who knows the timing of all this. It's something like, he's left New York City, he's on a bus, and he's on his way to Georgia. I'm like, wait, you know all that, but you can't go get him? Wait, huh? What? So maybe in future,
just moving the plot, moving the storyline.
Yeah,
like they are narrating what's about to happen type of deal, foreshadowing. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
Crazy stuff. All right, moving along. Trump meeting with world leaders. As my wife has said, it's almost like. You always like you had grandpa or great grandpa, and he's like watching the Rugrats. I don't know if you remember that really great cartoon, the Rugrats. This is a great show. And grandpa he just fall asleep. Probably like I do around my grandkids. Anyway, but now it's like, okay, dad's coming back. Everybody's going to straighten everything up, clean up the house, and maybe, I don't know, that's just sort of the vibe you feel in the world. You hope that's what it is, folks. I know a lot of people, you love Trump, you hate Trump. Again, I want to be objective. I'm going to get mad at Trump if he does bad things. I hope you don't mind, Logan. Look, if we argue, it'll be good TV. It'll be good video, right?
I'm not like a massive supporter. Why you always say that?
No, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to tick you off, but no, I think you're the same way. I think things we like we're going to praise, and things we don't like we're going to let the people know. We're not going to be apologists and just kiss ass for the sake of got to be on this team. But a lot of people are like that. Sad to say. I think it's one of our superpowers, though. We just try to tell it like it is, But yeah, Trump meeting with world leaders. He recently was talking to Justin Trudeau in Canada. And they made a joke about making Canada a 51st state or something.
51st and 52nd.
Yeah, he could be the governor.
And supposedly someone was at the table and had rose some other question up to it, and then he made more jokes.
That's great. So, that's great. And supposedly Trump has been in talks with Claudia Sheinbaum, I think the president of Mexico, and he just went over to Paris, France, and met with Macron and Zelensky for the what do you call that? Showing off the Notre Dame, the cathedral, the renovations after the big fire that happened there. I don't know if Joe Biden was there. Maybe he's still asleep in Angola, Africa. I don't know if you see that recently. He fell asleep again. He fell asleep at a big conference in Angola, Africa recently. Poor Joe. Enjoy your retirement, you sicko.
He can wait till January 20th.
Oh, God.
We don't need Harrison there for
that's true. That's true.
World would burn.
Oh, my God. Just what a world, dude. What a world. Drones in over New Jersey. Did you see some of this wacky stuff? Yeah, this is some crazy stuff. Obviously, you folks on the East Coast, you're probably all up to speed on this. I don't think they're spaceships. I assume they are drones, but something's going on. I guess a bunch of people have, they've contacted public officials, law enforcement, and they say there's no public danger to any public safety or anything, but it seems really odd, and hopefully we get to the bottom of that. This drone situation here. What the hell? All right.
It's Project Bluebeam.
You think so?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I was watching, so I saw some little video the guy was explaining. I think he was talking about Elon Musk stuff, being his rockets coming down with CGI, and that he made a reference to like Spider-Man, one of the last Spider-Man movies, where these drones were able to create these holograms, more or less.
Ooh.
And that he thinks they have the same type of technology.
Oh wow.
For certain things, and that it's coincidental. I saw this, and now this shit's happening.
Oh.
So who knows? Maybe they're just maybe they've been there for a while, and they're just having a little glitch from all this solar flare activity. I'm just saying.
Interesting.
Who knows?
Very interesting. All right. Well, I have a feeling we're going to come back to a couple of these topics that we're talking about today here. Big crazy one. Again, folks, we try to follow what's going on around the world. It's been also been one of my big criticisms of the lamestream media is, the world stage, man. I mean, the world is becoming a smaller and smaller and more of an interconnected place all the time. We got to pay attention to what's going on, whether we like it or we think, well, why should I care? You need to care about a lot of things, especially nowadays. Syria, what a mess. The Assad family, I think, has finally fallen, and they say rebels have taken over now. But a lot of question marks with that. Are they tied to any terrorist organization, these rebels? There's allegations of Al-Qaeda connected people. It's fascinating as hell. I mean, allegedly they weren't funded or given weapons by any other outside countries. Kind of hard for me to believe that one. But what do I know? And of course, Russia is also a big question mark in Syria and Syria's future, because they've been using it as a port, I believe, for many, many years. And so they were always very tight with Assad and the Assad regime. So are the rebels leaving Russia's ports alone, not getting involved with that situation, which should be smart of them? Is Russia still going to have their port there? And so a lot of questions, remain here, and you just kind of wonder what the heck's, all going to go on here. Hopefully, you worry there's a power void, folks. We just don't want it filled by, how do they say that? The devil you know versus the devil you don't know type thing, and that's, of course, probably a lot of Middle East politics, unfortunately. So hopefully this is a good thing that's going on. Again, question mark, and, to be continued, as several of these stories, I think, fall into that crazy thing. So Mercury retrograde, buddy. How about you? I mean, you're Libra. I don't know that your sign is supposed to be especially affected. Have you had anything crazy going on here in your world? Because I have in mine. I really have. So, folks, it was supposed to kick in, I think, November 25th through December 15th. Mercury retrograde. It's an astrology type thing. I know people laugh about it. It's supposed to be where Mercury stops spinning one way, and then it's supposed to actually start to spin the other way. They say it's an optical illusion. The so-called more scientific astronomy type folks, they say it's not really what it appears to be. And the astrology folks, of course, feel that it has an effect on certain human beings. Me being a wacky Gemini, Mercury rules over me. It's I'm supposed to be affected this time. Sagittariuses, you have a Sagittarius in your life. They're supposed to be affected. Virgos, I think, and maybe Pisces. So if you're any of those signs, you may want to, be careful. They say that affects communications with people, with anything, and travel. So had some strange stuff happen the other night. Unfortunately, folks, I'm not trying to make light of any of this. Gets really bad. I don't know if anybody died. I don't know the full thing, but there was a horrible car accident at the bottom of. I live on like a hill. It was at the bottom of the hill. It's a busy, dangerous area there, and there have been some bad things that have happened there before. Nothing, I don't think, this bad for a while. And I had to, it took me, I'm like 10 minutes from where I work. took me like another half hour because I saw all this traffic and all the blue and the red lights going off. I was like, oh crap, and I had to turn around. It took me a whole other half hour to go around the other side of town to get home. So anyway, when stuff like that happens, it's weird. Lost a cousin. Lost my cousin Kyle, a good guy. He'd been a school teacher, even studied for the priesthood for a while, but then he backed away from that. Had some substance issues he was dealing with over the years, but I thought he was doing good. Guy wasn't even 70 years old. So everybody out there, just know that, this crazy life is short. You don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen. I think it was a heart attack, and so I hope my cousin Kyle's in a better place than this lousy world. But I was just about to call him over the holidays too. He had texted me the day before Thanksgiving and said Happy Thanksgiving, and he said you too. And I was going to call him over the holiday break, and then I found out that Wednesday night, the night before Thanksgiving, that he had died. So anyway, it's a sad reality, but. And now here we are in the holiday season, though, Logan. So hopefully we get through December 15th and no more crazy Mercury retrograde. Oh, here, let me throw another one at you, folks. Again, I don't know this man. I'm not trying to be glib about it. I'm glib about the way some people mock me about Mercury retrograde. So there was an executive who worked for Tyler Perry, the filmmaker. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Tyler Perry. He's had a bunch of these Medea movies. He dresses up like a woman. It's crazy. And anyway, it's a stage show he did, turned into films. Super rich guy out of Georgia. Done very well for himself. Anyway, some executive was involved with him in his films. He was flying a small plane solo in Florida, and crashed it on a road. So hopefully they'll find out more about that, what happened there. But yeah, so again, these are weird things that happen. We had weird stuff in South Korea. Hopefully South Korea's calmed down. They were going to have martial law. Then they weren't. They weren't. Earthquake in California. Is it connected to Mercury retrograde? I don't know. I always tell people, I think stuff is going on every day of the year, right? 365. Bad things, good things, whatever. But I feel Mercury retrograde, which is 3 or 4 times a year, it's like the volume gets turned up just a little bit. I don't know. That's just how I see it. So, but I'm a wacky Gemini, and they say it affects me a lot. So anyway, in closing, Christmas. Let's just talk briefly about Christmas, my friend. So is Christmas a special time of year for you, Logan?
No.
What? Really? Oh, okay. Well, maybe this will work with what I'm going. Now, I know it is for most people, and I could go into a thing where I could rip on some things about Christmas, because who knows if Jesus, those of you who are Christian, it was really born December 25th. Some people think, no, he was probably born in the fall, maybe he was born in the spring, blah, blah, blah. And there's a whole thing with Emperor Constantine and consolidating all these religions and having all this stuff happen at the end of the year when the sun is at its lowest point, and then all the days after the sun comes out longer, the winter solstice, of course. But the crazy thing in America is a lot of our economy, our retail, Logan, is kind of all built around Christmas. Most of the year, our retailers, it's hard to believe, they're in the red. They're not profitable until, right after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. That's why they call it Black Friday. Then everybody starts buying, going crazy, and then these stores are in the black, so to speak, making profit, making money. Kind of a crazy thing. And of course, a lot of people, I just want to say, a lot of people go into a lot of debt and get a little crazy, with the holidays. I get it for the kids. My suggestion to a lot of people is, I just want to make this little suggestion, your public service announcement, if you will. Maybe just do a little something on the 25th. I'm talking about the adults now. You gotta do it for the kids. I get it. You gotta do it for the kids. But the adults, just do a little something for each other, because it's just a Roman Christmas, okay? Now, the Eastern Orthodox people, they celebrate January 6th. This was a whole Gregorian versus Julian calendar thing. We won't go on and on about it. But anyway, the Eastern Orthodox people, they celebrate it like January 6th. So think about it, maybe celebrating a bigger Christmas a little later. There might be sales. You might get a better deal on something. Just throwing that out there for everybody. And also everybody just trying to get too stressed out. That's the big thing. Spouses love each other, help each other through the difficult time, because it's usually some of the women, and some of the women, it's their own damn fault because they take on too much. You know what I mean? They do sometimes. I've seen my wife do this before, where she just gets all stressed out. It's like, what are you doing? This is supposed to be a holiday. And, they just take on too much, and they got the weight of the world on their shoulders, and they got to make everybody else happy. There's people that know what I'm talking about. And then there's just a whole melancholy thing with Christmas. I don't know, maybe you can associate with this a little bit. I had some bad Christmases as a kid. And an abusive parent who would just, had a nice Christmas in the morning with the one parent and my siblings, and then the other parent would sleep in. The other parent would sleep in. So later that parent would get up, and then eventually the drinking would start, and then the mean drunk would, ruin Christmas. And that happened like for several Christmases. I would wait for it. And there it was. And usually the parent would threaten to kill us all. Yeah, good times. Anyway, so it is what it is. So happy holidays, everybody. I honestly, for all of us here at Controversy of the Day, I want to wish you all a very happy, joyous holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever the heck you're going to do, winter solstice, and Happy New Year. Of course, we're going to have some more shows before the New Year. Got to talk about 2024, we'll do a little New Year's thing. We got to do that coming up, and we got to look into 2025. Maybe a little wish list, holiday wish list for Logan and I, and what we wish for the Trump administration, what we wish for the world, or America going forward. We'll see what's going to happen, and should be a lot of fun. I didn't get to Scott Bessent today, damn it, but Logan, we'll do that another time. He's the nominee for Treasury Secretary. Well, I'll save him for next time. So, all right. Any closing thoughts, my friend? All righty.
No.
All right. Happy holidays, everybody. Love you. Love you all. See you soon.
About humbug.
Oh, I thought you were going to get mad at me. One day you looked at me funny, like, well, what are you going to rip on Christmas about? That whole, Logan all mad at me.